Hey guys, welcome to AFTERBUZZ TV. We're doing the after show for Modern Family, and we may be playing a little bit of basketball in the studio tonight. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
That's what I'm talking about. Give up.
I wish we had some balls
I know,
to dribble.
I need to shoot. It's weird because I'm actually a lefty when I play basketball, so I don't know why I'm shooting with my right hand. But
it looks better. That's what everyone's used to.
I'm right-handed. But the weird thing is I shoot left-handed.
Was it your dad who taught you how to do that? Shoot lefty.
No, you know what? I think I was like shooting like with two hands, and then like because I was made to shoot with one hand, and I was never right-handed. I was left-handed all that time.
Man, we're having trouble, but we are talking Modern Family Season 8, Episode 16, Basketball. And this is like actually the most simple title all year long.
Yes.
Just plain old basketball.
And I love basketball, so I was so excited to see this episode.
What sport? It seems like you love all sports. What sport don't you love? Football, everything.
Yeah, I love everything. I love it all.
Well, I'm Nikki Preston, and you can find me all over social media, Nikki Preston TV. Find me. Let's talk about Modern Family. Let's talk about the show.
Yes, and hi guys, I'm Jessie Zahner. You can find me all over social media at Athletic.
Nice.
Yeah.
So this was a fun episode tonight.
I know. It was so funny.
My favorite part was honestly seeing Phil train for the basketball game. Sitting in the little kiddie pool and having Luke dunk the ice water on him. And
well, it's so funny. Have you ever taken an ice bath before?
No, I'm too afraid.
Okay, so I'm the same way. Like, I played sports my whole life, and I've always had to ice things, but, like, I would not get an ice bath because I hate cold anything. And one time I did a Tough Mudder, and, like, the first obstacle that I had to do was jump into, like, a dumpster filled with ice water.
Oh, my God.
And everybody kept telling me, like, you know, don't worry. Or, no, they did not tell me that. I was thinking that. I was like, oh, it's going to be fine. And they're like, no. Like, you're going to lose your breath. It's going to take your breath away. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like, I got this. I, like, was, like, acting like a hard ass, too. Like, I jumped in, like, did a cannonball. And, like, I literally, like, all of my breath was taken out. And I thought I was going to die.
Oh, my gosh.
I, like, pulled myself up on the side. I was like, I can't do it. So when I saw Phil get all that dumped on him, and he was like, just like, I was like, oh, I feel you, Phil.
His pain. I just remember when everyone was doing the ice bucket challenge a few years ago.
Oh, yeah.
It just, even that was bad enough. Someone dumped a really big bucket, and I couldn't think of the people's names I was supposed to nominate after. I was really out of it for a good, like, 2 minutes.
I dumped warm water on me.
You cheater.
Yeah,
oh, my God.
I'm not about the ice bath anymore. Can't do it.
You were traumatized.
I was. But I agree. I think that's the funniest part of the episode, because not only do we see the ice bath, but he's shooting 100 free throws a day, and he's running with, like, the resistance bands on him, and then Luke can't hold it anymore, and he snaps it on him. It was so funny.
I kind of wish that he was training. We actually saw him in different episodes training for a while for this. I know Modern Family kind of tries to keep they saw whatever's going to happen in that one episode, but it would have been fun if Phil was really preparing for a while for this.
Yeah, well, and I feel like in real life he's a sports fan too, so I was like, I wonder if he really loved filming this episode.
Yeah, because in the show he's always into magic and kind of dorkier things, but you're right, I think in real life, you even saw him at a football game,
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
So yeah, I think he really is in the sports
fan, yeah.
And then, oh my gosh, Claire, I felt so bad for her because it's so hard. She tries so hard to impress her father. She wants to do a good job running the business, and then she gets the wood that she has to discontinue because it's making people sick and killing fish.
Yes, I know. Oh my gosh, the poor fish. That was such a ridiculous scene. Have you ever swallowed a fish?
Oh my God, thank God, no, but it was pretty traumatizing. So when I was a kid, we didn't have any pets, but I did have goldfish. I won a bunch of them at a carnival, and my dad would be the one to, like, take care of them, clean out the water, and he dumped it in a fish in the sink one time when he was cleaning out the water, and he got a plastic fork to try to get it, and he ended up stabbing the fish to death, and I was like, no.
God, that's so funny.
It was kind of gross.
Actually, that's not funny. That's sad, but oh my God, that's crazy.
Well, we had so many. I was like, oh, whatever. I got like 5 more in the bowl, but still, it was kind of sad.
Yeah, never ate a fish myself.
I can't
imagine.
I wouldn't do it. I would be like, honestly, Dad, I'm sorry. Like, there's a fish in here. I'm not gonna. Or you know what I would have done? I would have, like, drank some of it, but not actually swallowed the fish.
Just pull a move where you, like, move to the side and you just, like, chuck it back, and then it goes into the into the tank.
I know. But do you think that's good to be so afraid of your father? Like he wanted her to be so afraid.
I mean, I feel like that's what kids do, right? Like you always want to, well, I can't speak for everybody, but like you want to impress your parents, right? Like you want to do everything right by them. I feel like that's kind of how it goes. But to go to the extent of swallowing a fish so that he doesn't see it is so ridiculous.
And she's an adult now. And it's funny because I think the younger generations, which we're seeing, Joe isn't afraid of Jay whatsoever. He thinks it's funny, everything he does.
Yeah.
And Gloria's actually the one who, he's more afraid of.
Right. I think that's so funny because Jay is always the tough one. Like, everybody's afraid of Jay. But not little Joe. The littlest guy in the whole show, he thinks it's funny.
I think because Jay has a sweet spot for him,
He does.
like a soft spot. So he can't really do any wrong, to be honest with you. When he was giving his underwear to teachers on Valentine's Day and Jay thought it was funny. And
when he threw the confetti up, when it was like all the paper shreddings and he threw it up, he's like, confetti. He's so cute.
He is. And then Ben was in the episode so much.
I know.
But nothing to do with Alex whatsoever.
Right? I know.
I was almost hoping maybe when he was sneezing or something would happen and Claire would grab his phone and see a message from Alex, or somehow she would kind of crack the case there a little bit.
Yeah, but nothing. It's weird. It's so weird to me that that's like not happening, but he is so involved in this episode.
He had a bigger part than any of the kids or anyone. He was in like the whole episode.
Right.
But he's good. I like him.
Yeah, I do too.
Him and Claire, they work well together.
They do.
Actually may have more chemistry than she has with Phil, to be honest.
It's true. They do work really well together. Like when Jay came in and they kind of like covered up what they were talking about so that Jay wouldn't know. Yeah, they're good.
And then basically we saw all the kids except Manny. Really, I think he was in it like a second, and Lily wasn't in it at all.
I know.
So
and Luke was in it for barely any time.
Yeah, he didn't really talk besides.
He was just like helping Phil train, and then he was at the basketball game. I saw him just like sitting back there, but that's really it.
Now, I did like the fact that they had professional basketball players.
Yes.
But the only thing is, it was like a little bit too much. Every time they were in any scene, they were like, "Oh, it's Charles Barkley," or like, okay, by now we get it. So it was kind of funny because it made me think back to when they had the football player Manning in the show, and they were almost like they didn't say his name.
You're right.
He was
I
just
didn't
trying
think about
to be
like that.
Like the
like
cool
a regular
guy,
character.
like a regular character. And I was like, why would the basketball players, are they trying so hard to be like, they're basketball players, and, with the football player, they didn't really care.
That's interesting. Well, it's so funny because in the game, what happens is, they're like betting, Deandre Jordan and Charles Barkley are betting back and forth on who's going to win this game because they're kind of decide they're going to coach the opposite teams. And so Deandre Jordan has this plan. Phil's not ever being guarded, so he's gonna give the ball to Phil and he needs to score so that Deandre wins he bet like Olympic gold medals on it. He bet his Phantom on it, like all this stuff. So now all the pressure's on Phil and Claire just shows up, and so they inbounds the ball and the guy gets fouled and he's hurt and he's like, I can't shoot the shots. So Charles Barkley looked at Deandre and he's like, well, you know what the rule is. So I thought they were gonna make Deandre shoot because before Charles Barkley, he says so much stuff on TV, and one thing that he said one time about Deandre Jordan is that if you put him in a gym overnight and you leave him and you tell him he can't dunk, you'll come back in the morning and he'll only score 6 points. So I thought because of that like little feud that went on at that time, that he was going to say, you have to shoot to
that
Deandre.
That would have been fun, actually, to see that.
Yeah, so that's what I was expecting. So I just started laughing as soon as he said, you know what the rule is? And I'm like, oh my gosh, he's going to make Deandre shoot.
Well, he wouldn't want that, though, because then he would that's true, though.
Because he thinks Deandre can't do anything but dunk.
Yeah. So maybe, yeah.
But... So
still
I thought,
better than Phil. I didn't have any faith in Phil whatsoever.
Well, so I don't know if, like, the writers, like... were playing on that little feud that happened.
Oh, that could be.
And so they were just like poking fun at that feud between Deandre and Charles, because I also thought it was just like kind of weird, like why Charles Barkley and Deandre Jordan? I mean, he's a Clipper, so he's here in Los Angeles and they're in California. But
and you know what though, I thought they said a little, they had too many lines. They really should have kept it to a minimum because they really can't act at all. Like anytime they were talking, I'm like, okay, just sit down. Let some of the other characters have the spotlight here.
Yeah. Well, it's so funny because at the beginning when they came to the game, it was so funny how they set up shop in the stands because they like put out a blanket and they were like picnicking in the stands.
It was cute. Did you ever do that? Because you were, big into sports.
Oh,
so did you, go to a lot of games and have your all friends come and all that
yeah,
stuff?
like, professional games, but no, like I didn't go to like a basketball game like that. How about you?
I didn't really go to basketball games, no, but I definitely remember what it's like to kind of feel the pressure. I used to play softball, so it's like, the last inning, and I was on the all-star team, and I was in left field, and this ball, comes flying out, a fly ball, and I'm running, and I'm just looking at the ball, and I catch it, and I fall into, they have that fence that is almost like yellow or orange, and I bounce into it, I catch the ball, and I bounce back up, and like I have like so many.
Did you drop
plays
it or did you catch it?
No, I caught it.
Oh,
so many plays where I like.
You were really
win the
stressing me
game.
out because softball is so stressful because it's like an individualized sport, even though you're a team.
Yeah,
but like,
because
when I played softball, I was always worried when I was like the last batter up and we were losing, and I'm like, dude, if I strike out right now, I can't. Like, so softball's tough. I can't deal
You're
with
right,
the
it is,
stress.
because the pitcher has a lot of stress. The batter does when you're right. There's so many.
Well,
even
just
a
like
ground
that,
ball is
you
very-
catching that ball, like that's on you. Like in soccer, the sport that I played most, like it wasn't always on me unless we went into like penalty shots. But like, I could always be like, oh well, it's not my fault. That player had to get through all of you guys before they got through me, and I didn't play defense anyway, so it was never my fault.
You're right. I didn't think about it that way. You're right. It is actually a hard sport.
Yeah.
Definitely. But yeah, you either love it or you hate it. It depends.
So there's a lot of pressure on Phil because basketball is like soccer where it's like a team sport, but when you're shooting free throws at the end of the game and the game is on the line, I always wonder how these guys do that because that is so stressful.
I would freak out. Even if I did it in my sleep,
I mean, he was shooting 100 shots a day, 100 free throws a day, and he was just like knocking them down like they were nothing.
But then at the end, it was stupid. Like, I know he wanted to kind of know if he was going to make it, but no one was there anymore. It was all dark. Of course, he doesn't have the same amount of pressure on him. Of course, he can make it once everyone is gone. So,
but Charles saw him.
Yeah, that's true, though.
Yeah.
But still, I'm just like, oh, Phil, I'm sorry. It sucks, but sit down.
Poor Phil.
It'd actually be fun, though, if they make him train and then they have another episode next year where
that'd be awesome.
he gets to try again and maybe he'll be a little bit better next year.
Because he was so good during training, but then the game was just poor guy.
Yeah, no.
So Phil.
And then we have Gloria, who she always kind of does this. She always throws money at things instead of putting, cooking something or making something for the game. But I feel like her character has grown a lot because I feel like she was a little more superficial in the earlier seasons, and now she wants to get along with the other parents. She wants to cook things and try, and the other parents, they just look at her and they're like, oh, she's beautiful, she's young, she has this rich husband, we don't care. I know she's only about money and whatever. But people don't give her enough credit, I don't think.
Yeah, that little feud that they had going was so funny. That I don't know what that woman's name is, the actress, but she played this part so perfect. Like everything she did was so funny.
She did, and it was so perfect. The whole hot dog stand, it was so beautiful. Oh my gosh,
it was. And then like Gloria's like, "Do you guys want some nachos? Come back this way." And she pulls the chip things, and she's like, "We have chips."
The parents, I know they do, but
oh my gosh,
do parents go this far?
I feel like they do because I remember like as a kid I was like a weird kid because like I always had these thoughts about things, and I like remember like being annoyed by parents like that were at the games that I wasn't even interacting with, but just like looking around, and like even still to this day I'm like, God, I hope I never have to be like that. Everybody just needs to calm down.
I know. When you think about it, it's so funny because parents, they live through their kids and they think that's a life. But then, like, especially the kids, they grow up and they're like, oh my God, that was so pathetic. Like, why is everyone making a big deal about, like, girls softball or about, like, who brought cupcakes to the, bake sale?
I know.
Like, it's so
let's
stupid.
all just, like, chill out. Like, she can sell the nachos, you can sell the hot dogs, we're all good.
Exactly. And then, so Raynor's back in the episode once
finally.
again. That was so cute how Haley and her uncle there, Mitch, have their little tea day.
Yeah.
And then I loved it too how they do the flashback and they have Cam trying to do tea with Alex and he just keeps dumping the tea and it's like overflowing out of his cup because he's so bored out of his mind. But that was, I think, who knows, maybe Raynor and Haley will make it.
I know.
For the full season together.
I agree. So if I have to ask this question, if you had to have tea with Alex or Haley, who would you have tea with?
Haley.
Me too.
In a minute,
I know. And I love Alex though, but I agree. And then if you had to have it with Mitch or Cam, who would you have it with?
Oh, wow. You know what? I love everyone on the show, but
Yeah.
they're actually not my favorite characters, to be honest
Yeah.
with you. Wow, I almost would want them together, or maybe I'd go with Cam, to be honest.
I would go with Cam, yeah. I love Mitchell too, so I don't know why, but I just think Cam is hilarious. I think I like listening, which is, okay, this is crazy because I love talking too, but I think I like listening more. So if I'm trying to get some tea at tea, I want Haley and Cam.
Yeah,
So.
exactly. No, I think that's perfect. Cam would have all these wonderful stories.
Yes,
And then
exactly.
Haley would tell you about Rainer, and we were kind of wondering, because I was like, are they trying to say some sexual
Yeah.
thing with the candle? Is it some urban new hip term, you know, that we don't know? But
Right.
I would think they were really talking about like cleaning wax out of his ear.
Oh my God, I know. Have you ever done that?
No, and I actually have issues with my ears plugging up.
Yeah.
But I'll like flush them out with like a little.
Dude,
and
I've
had
used
my
that thing
partner-
before. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
And I didn't think it was that big of a deal, because I had like the last person I dated, you know, get wax out of my ears.
Yeah.
So I didn't think it was
Some
that big
people
of a
can
deal.
deal with earwax, some people can't, you know.
But the candle thing, that's actually really not good for your ears.
Oh,
I've
it's
heard about
not?
it. No, it's dangerous,
Oh my
and you can end
God.
up getting wax, and it just it's a
Oh,
bigger
I didn't
mess.
know that. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, do
Why
not
the heck
do
do
it,
people
people.
do it?
I don't know.
How
but
did
don't.
how did that come about?
I have no idea, but do not do it. Whatever you do, just do not do it.
Yes.
But, so I was wondering now, I don't know how long you've been married, but do you feel like there's things in the relationship like that you will never, are you completely vulnerable basically, or do you feel like you got to put up a little bit of a front with like little things like the earwax and
Like
things
I
here and there?
do? I don't think I do, because I married a doctor and he's seen it all. But I can't deal with a lot of things myself.
Really?
So I'm grossed out by everything and he's grossed out by nothing. So it's a good mix. So I don't know.
Well, he could take care of you. You may not be able to take
How
care.
about you?
I like the person to be open. Like
Yeah.
I think I want to know everything, and then
Yeah.
for me, I always thought that I would have secrets like from my past, like, oh, I'm never gonna tell them that, and
Yeah.
then I do. Like, there's been one person lucky enough to know almost everything about me,
Yeah.
but for the most part, I'm pretty guarded until I feel like I trust them.
Okay, so you would do the earwax.
Oh yeah, I already
Okay.
did. Yeah. I would. Like, every 3 months my ear gets plugged, so if you want to be with me, you gotta help me unplug
Yes,
my
there
ear.
you go. You got to find a guy or a girl like Haley or Rainer,
Anyone.
right?
Yeah,
because
exactly.
they're gonna do the earwax thing,
Exactly.
but not the candle.
No,
Earwax.
no, not the candle. We are not doing that. Well, we got to talk about predictions now.
Yes. Predictions. Gosh,
Now, your AfterBuzz
I feel
TV predictions.
for the last few weeks we've only been talking about Haley and Rainer and
know.
like what is happening between them. So I do hope we see more of them. I still don't like them together, but I'm still dying to see his daughter come back and just like give
Yes.
Haley a hard time because that episode was so funny. Aside from that, anything more basketball related with Phil, I'm totally in for.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, oh no, that was great. Or it doesn't even have to be basketball. I just want to see Phil train. I want to
Yeah.
see the elastic bands and him running. And yeah, I definitely want to see more of that.
Another question I had at the end of this episode, which I want to ask you, because this is predictions related, but what do you think happened with the thing he was building? I can't remember what he called it.
Oh, how he was going to do just... Oh, you're right. They forgot
yeah.
about that. And it turned out to parking lot
Yeah.
because...
Oh, they turned it into parking lot.
Yeah,
so
they're just going
it's
to do a
just that's
parking
it.
lot. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he
It's
couldn't
just
do the building.
Like, darn it.
Maybe they'll
That's
come
all.
back to
That's
that, you know?
I know. I'm still curious, like, how that's going and what's going on with that. And, like, are we going to see them, like, hiring people to work in there? Or is Phil going to have to work in there and deal with a whole bunch of stuff?
Or he
what's
could
going
hire
on?
Claire because, well, I guess she's more closets, but she's still kind of in, I feel like, the construction kind of
Yeah.
thing. I don't know, man.
And
I don't
then
know
I'm
if they
still
go together or
curious
not.
about, like, Lily. Like, she hasn't been in barely any episodes. Manny, I'd like to see more of. Luke.
I think the issue is they have so many amazing characters.
I know.
It's like finding time for all of them. And then when you have some episodes like Ben played a big part in the episode, they
Yes.
had guest stars today. There really just isn't enough time or room
Right,
for
you're right.
everyone. So it kind of reminds me of shows like Friends and different things, how they were able to give all the characters airtime, because when there's so many, such a big cast like that, it's really pretty
And
hard.
so much does happen in these episodes too, and they're only half an hour. Like, I got done watching that show today and I was just like, I can't believe all that took place in a half hour.
I know. I really wish we could do like a full hour, even 45 minutes.
Oh my God,
Maybe
talk
they
about the
should.
show.
I know, extend
It'd be awesome.
sitcoms to 45 minutes.
Yes.
But Yeah, no, I definitely want to see more with Rainer, and because it's kind of fun. It's always interesting. You never know what's going to happen when they come in. And I always say, you know, more with the kids, but I don't know, mix things up maybe even a little bit. Let's see some different storylines. Although every week I'm happy. I'm never like, oh my gosh, this show. They never let me down, basically. You guys never let me down. The writers are amazing on this show. But we got to get going. We talk so much. I feel like, oh my gosh, there's so much to say today. But I am Nikki Preston, and you can find me all over social media at Nikki Preston TV.
And I'm Jessie Zahner. You can find me all over social media at Athletic.
Bye,
see
guys.
You guys next week.
Good night.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.